Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cartoon Boom. This is a show where we wake up with the Saturday morning sun, plop down to the floor with a big bowl of sugary cereal, and watch our favorite cartoons, both old
and new.
I'm your legendary balloon popping hero, Joseph.
And I'm your friend and ally. No, I'm just kidding. Are you new here? I just stabbed you right in the back. My name's Chris.
Yeah. Everybody hates Naofumi. Everybody.
Everyone.
Except his slave and a child. We'll get into that. Hey, I mean, yeah, we'll go a little deeper into that.
She starts as a slave and becomes so much more.
But oh, man. That was how, like, we're going to talk about this more. So I'm just going to really give like a general statement here. But like, I didn't know how you were going to feel about it with all of that going on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, yes. So who was this suggested by?
Wait, did you even say what we watched? I don't even think you said the name of it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got too caught up in the the weird aspects of it. So today we watched The Rising of the Shield Hero.
This was suggested by Patreon supporter Tinks. So thank you, Tinks.
Thank you. So the show The Rising of the Shield Hero aired from 2019 to present, based on the Japanese dark fantasy isekai light novel series of the same name, written by Aneko Usagi. And the show was created or written by Kigo Koyunagi because there's the light novel series, there's the manga that came after it, and then there's this anime, and there's some video games. So there's a lot here. Yeah, but it started as a light novel, just know that. The anime was directed by Takeo Abo for season 1, Masato Jinbo for season 2, and Hitoshi Haga for season 3, produced by Kinema Citrus and DR Movie for season 2. I wonder if it's Doctor Movie. It's capital DR, so I assume it's just DR, but Doctor Movie sounds fun.
Or Der Movie. Der Movie.
Der Movie. And I think
Der Joseph.
I feel like it's DR Movie, but
I want to go with Doctor though. I like Doctor Movie.
Doctor Movie is great. Yeah, Doctor Movie for season 2.
That's going to be the name of my next podcast. Is Doctor Movie.
Ran for 2 seasons, 38 episodes so far. Originally on ATX, Tokyo MX, TVA, KBS, Sun, TVQ, BS11 in Japan, and in Plus Asia in Southeast Asia, and Crunchyroll in the US. That's where we're seeing it.
Hey, yeah.
For a short synopsis, a gamer is magically summoned into a parallel universe where he's chosen as one of the 4 destined heroes to save the world from its prophesized doom.
That's all it says?
Yeah.
They left out the part where, like, everyone hates him.
Where everybody hates this guy.
He's summoned along with 3 others, but, like, everyone wants to see him fail and nobody wants him to actually be a hero.
From the start, this is where it's like, it's such an interesting isekai because of it. Again, we'll dive further into it, but I have a lot to say about this show. Who are some of the actors who played in it?
I was dreading this part because there's so many characters, which means so many names I got to go through, both the Japanese dub and the English dub. So, I'll do it in that order. So, our main character, Naofumi, voiced by Kaito Ishikawa and Billy Kamitz. Raftalia, voiced by Asami Seto and Erica Mendez. Philo, voiced by Rina Hidaka and Brianna Knickerbocker. Even the English names are not going to be easy on me this time. You know what? It sucks.
Knickerbocker.
Ren, voiced by Yoshitsugu Matsuoka and Alan Lee. Motoyasu, voiced by Makoto Takahashi and Xander Mobus. Why with this? Why Xander Mobus as a name?
That's a cool name. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I can't. It's hard to say. Itsuki, voiced by Yoshitaka Yamaya and Eric Kimmerer. Erhard, voiced by Hiroki Yasumoto and Imari Williams. King Melromark, voiced by Yutaka Nakano and Jameson Price. Malty, a.k.a. Mine, voiced by Sarah Emi Bridcut and Faye Mata. Melty, voiced by Maya Uchida and Jackie Lastra. And then finally our last one here, Queen Melromark, voiced by Kikuko Inouye and Caitlin Galt. Oh,
wow. You did it. I just want to say at the end of this whole thing, that I want my new character name for any D&D campaign that I enter in the future to be Xander Mobius. That's just, I know that wasn't his last name. I know.
Okay.
But Xander Mobius,
you want to go with Mobius.
Yeah, that just sounds so cool. I'm doing it.
I feel like, wasn't Mobius also was that an MP3 player or downloader at one point too? I feel like Mobius was. Did that replace LimeWire at one point?
You're thinking of Morpheus, I think, right?
Oh, okay. Maybe. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. The name Mobius sticks out.
There is oh man. I know there's a character that I'm thinking of named Mobius, I think. I don't know. Someone's going to say something. Someone's going to listen to this and be like, these are idiots. Why are we listening to these idiots?
Mobius was a character from Loki. He was Owen Wilson's character. Wow, that guy. It was his character.
Mobius is an artist, though, and
You're an artist!
Okay, sometimes, but I'm thinking of an artist, but I don't know what art he did exactly, so I'm so sorry to everyone who's hearing this and very embarrassed for me.
No, we're just gonna keep talking about what Mobius.
We got to move on then. Okay, and for a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of the Rising of the Shield Hero cereal, the novel series was adapted into a manga series by Aya Kyu and published by Media Factory, with 22 volumes released as of December 22nd, 2022. Both the novel and the manga series were licensed by One Piece Books and were published in North America starting in September 2015. So we've been getting this manga since 2015. The anime didn't start till 2019. This thing's been around for a while.
Sounds like it. You know what? I'm glad that there is a manga though, because I hate when I get into an anime and then I'm like, oh, I want to read the manga now, and then they're like, nope, it was just light novels, and I'm like, oh,
I'm not gonna read a light novel. Yeah, that's just words.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna read that. Yeah, that's too much reading for me. I need pictures.
I need pictures. Exactly. In season 1, Naofumi was voiced by Billy Kametz in the English dub. However, after being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, Kametz took a hiatus from voice acting and passed away from it later that same year at the age of 35.
Oh, God.
Stefan Fu provided Naofumi's voice starting in season 2. So that's really unfortunate. So young.
Jeez. Yeah. I feel like I've heard his name before. I think we have talked about Billy Kametz before, and I'm not sure.
I think you're right. Yeah, it did look familiar.
I'm not sure what we've had him in before. I'm going to assume another anime, but man, that's too bad. Oh, very sad, man.
A mobile game titled The Rising of the Shield Hero Re-Rise was released for iOS and Android devices on February 24th, 2021. And a playable adaptation of the anime titled The Rising of the Shield Hero Relive the Animation was released for Steam on September 24th, 2019 for iOS and Android devices on October 24th, 2019. So that's I looked into it a little bit because it was on Steam, and it's kind of what is the genre of where it's you're just kind of going through a story and oh man, I'm trying to think the really basic.
Just an RPG?
No, not like an RPG, like a light novel type.
Are you thinking of a visual novel?
Visual novel. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, it's basically like a visual novel walking you through the first season is what it looked like. There was interaction that you could do, but I don't think you could change anything. It's just basically here's the series. You want to play through it in visual novel format. So I just thought I thought that was really interesting. I don't know if it's popular or not, but that was something that it was a strange approach they took to that, because it's basically an MMO, and they could have made it such, or at least an RPG, but no, they chose visual novel instead.
Yeah, I would have thought at least an action RPG or something.
Nope.
Huh. Okay.
A second season, co-produced by Dr. Movie, aired from April to June 2022. A third season is set to premiere in October 2023, so yet to come. But it has been announced.
Okay. I think I figured out where we've heard his name before. He was in a Gretzko.
Okay. Man, poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what's been available so far. I haven't watched the second season yet. I watched the whole first season prior to doing this episode, of course. That was years ago, it feels like.
I didn't know there was a third one coming, because I had heard you talk about season 2. I didn't realize there was a third one on the way.
I know Tinks had been trying to get me to watch season 2, and I had wanted to, but I haven't yet. But I have heard it's not as good as the first season, which
Okay.
I could kind of see why, just because the first season, there's a lot going on. So we should go ahead and start talking about it. The first episode was The Shield Hero, season 1, episode 1. Summoned into another world with 3 others, Naofumi Iwatani is given the title Shield Hero. If he ever wants to go home, he must defend the world from waves of attacks. He relies on his only party member to level up, but she isn't as she seems. Man, that is an understatement.
Yeah. yeah. That's maybe the largest understatement ever.
When you think about animes and you think about isekais, it's usually like they're all kind of like, even though I like that type of series, they're usually like, okay, this person is transported into a new world. They become the heroes. They're loved by everyone, and they're just kind of lifted up from that point. That is not the case in this anime. It's the opposite.
Yeah, I would say that, or I don't know. I've seen a few that are semi-similar. I don't know, because it was very hard for me not to compare this one specifically to Sword Art Online.
Oh, see, I've never seen that one.
Okay, for various reasons, because the main character there has at least a similar, not completely similar circumstance, but a circumstance where he shows up and does not immediately become the hero.
But does everyone hate him?
He sort of.
Okay.
Not
okay.
not nearly to the degree like this. Not even close to the degree like this. But he becomes like he's more looked down upon by everybody, and he's disliked, but not straight up hated, and like, you know, not everybody is out to like get him. Like, here, he didn't get set up.
Right. There's not a religion deliberately excluding him because he's a shield hero.
Yeah, I like that this show, this world ended up creating a religion around the other 3 heroes.
Yeah.
Without that's how deep this went.
Nobody likes tanks, basically.
Basically, this whole thing is like, you know, as we said, these 4 young men get summoned. And what I thought was interesting was that they all came from, you know, Japan, like a modern day Japan, into this fantasy type world. But they're not all from the same Japan. They're all from like kind of different versions. So they're not all from the same reality.
Like different dimensions, essentially.
Yeah.
Like they quiz each other on like who's on the whatever $100 yen or whatever it was. And they all say something different. So it kind of like reinforces it. Okay, we're all from different worlds, but the same area of that world.
It turns out, and like, we don't find out for a while, but like, there is a history with the bearer of the shield hero, because each of these 4 gets their own heroic weapon, a sword, a spear, the shield, and then what was the 4th one?
The bow and arrow. The
bow and arrow, that's right. And with Naofumi getting the shield. There's like a history there with the current king who hated the former shield hero. So he like bears a grudge against anyone that holds the shield. So like dudes show up and he immediately already hates him.
Yeah, like he's trying to introduce himself and the king keeps just interrupting him or not even asking him who he is.
He's basically setting this dude up for failure immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And doing everything to make it look like it's Naofumi's fault and that he's being rude and stuff. But it is him pulling the strings of everything. Like, I don't know. It gets so much worse, but like you can kind of get like the smallest little inklings of it right away.
Yeah, at first it's kind of comical because it's like, oh, they're just totally ignoring the shield hero. That's funny, but then it gets darker, like pretty quick.
Incredibly dark. It got dark in a way I sure didn't expect. And like, I feel like we can't talk about too much on a kid-friendly show.
Yeah, there's a couple of things we're not going to be able to really mention here. So it's like, do your due diligence, watch it for yourself if you're curious, but we'll at least skate around some of the darker issues. So I thought it was interesting the way that Naofumi introduced himself initially as the like narrator when we got the opening, like prior to him being transported in, where he introduced himself as a college sophomore with slight otaku tendencies. And I didn't know what that meant at first. So otaku, for anyone who's curious, is essentially the Japanese equivalent of geek or a nerd.
Yeah.
Basically saying like they're into computers, video games, and geeky culture stuff.
Sure.
So he's a slight geek in his mind, but he is at home, like helping his family out. So he doesn't have to have a job or anything since his rent is paid for. So he spends his time just doing nerdy things, is how he introduces himself to us. That just plays such a little part in this, though, because that's only the very beginning. And really, he gets pretty, well, I say comfortable, but he like falls into this other world fairly quickly and then doesn't really talk much about his life on his prior life, I guess.
I mean, I wouldn't either based on how he gets treated.
Yeah.
Good Lord. The big thing was each of them has to go out apart from each other and quest and level up to I don't know, become better skilled warriors so that they can come back and fight these like hordes of enemies that show up and plague the kingdom and fight them back, that they keep coming on this timetable.
The king has all of these like adventurers and other kind of like I don't know, characters team up or choose who they're going to team up with. Kind of like what it took me back to was high school when you're choosing for like a basketball team or something, or not high school, maybe middle school. Let's go back there, or dodgeball. And then no one picks you. Like that's kind of how it felt, because everybody was going to the sides of the shield hero, the sword hero, and the bow and arrow hero, or whatever, the archer hero.
Aim at the spear. Yeah.
No
one
the spear
goes
hero.
to the shield.
Yeah, and nobody goes to the shield hero at all. And then it was kind of like there was one person who was on the shield hero, or sorry, the spear hero's side, and this woman who
Malty.
But mine is what she's going by at the time.
Mine
feels authentic in what she's doing. Like, oh, she's gonna help him out. She's just.
I never felt like she was authentic in the slightest.
Maybe a little over the top, but she's trying to be, she's coming off as like super sweet and supportive and trying to help him out. But we all know, like, you can really sense it from her.
I didn't trust her.
Yeah.
In the
nor should you.
There was no point. There was no point at all in this episode. I trusted her. Like from the get-go, I'm like, nuh-uh, no. And I'm glad I didn't. And this was giving me anxiety because the whole time I was waiting for the shoe to drop.
Oh, and it dropped hard.
And then no shoes dropped. An entire closet of boots dropped.
Yeah, a Payless dropped on.
Yeah,
Naofumi.
a whole Payless shoe store dropped. God. Yeah, where like she got him to spend all this money and everything, and then she robbed him and then
accused him of assault.
Yeah, accused him of improprieties.
Yeah.
On her person.
Yeah. And he literally was just like sleeping, woke up, all his stuff had been stolen, and the royal guards had come in to arrest him, essentially, to bring him to trial in front of the king.
Yeah.
And so that's where it got like, whoa, like this is a huge turn of events from where it was going. It seemed like a fun kind of like, oh, nobody likes a shield hero. That's funny. Now it's like, oh no, now the shield hero is being accused of like horrible crimes. And had he not been necessary, like one of the cardinal heroes necessary to save this world, he would have been executed on the spot.
Yes. And he cannot be sent back to his home world. Like that's out of the cards. Like they literally don't have a way to do it until like all of the evil creatures are defeated, but they show up on a timetable. It's going to be a while. There is no way for him to go back.
No. So, and he is understandably very upset because he's just like, why? Like, this sucks. I'm here. I didn't do anything. And now I'm being accused of all this. And I'm just a shield hero. If you're asking yourself, why isn't he just using like a sword or something also with his shield? He can't do that. He's not allowed to. He tries, but there's like some kind of like force that keeps him from carrying any other weapon. And he can't get rid of the shield either. It always comes back to him. So he is stuck as only the shield hero.
This is one thing I wanted to bring up that I think this was weird to me, is the idea of this is supposed to be like a world. This is a reality, like fantasy world and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yet they have a HUD, you know?
Yeah, like the cardinal heroes do at least. I don't know what that's supposed to... Like, I know it's supposed to come off as like, oh, it's a video game, but it's not what it's passing itself off as. It's not like Sword Art Online.
Yeah, it's like it's not supposed to be like a video game thing, but it's like it's supposed to be their version of Magic. Basically gives them like stats and equipment screens, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like that bothered me through the entire thing. I didn't like it. And there's like, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff like that. And it's not just this. There's a lot of isekais that do things like that drive me nuts, where they make the rules of the world they fall into just so convoluted that I'm like, ah.
Right. It's like, I understand what you're saying. And I don't know if it's like delved further into in the light novel or the manga, but it's like, it just seems like it's something they're like, oh, hey, if you just look down in the bottom right of your vision, it'll pop up this menu. And it's like, why is there a menu in this?
Hey, you've got this floater in your eye.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like a world that is existing already. And I don't know that any of the other people can do it. I think it's just the Cardinal Heroes, but
then how would the others even know about it?
Yeah, you know? Like, is that magic to them? What is that supposed to be? And what is the purpose of it, I guess? At the end of the day, why do they need it there except to make it relatable to readers or viewers or whatever? But it's like, but it's not a game.
And I feel like it couldn't be because like mine talked about her leveling up as well and getting better gear so that she could, you know, level up alongside him, whatever. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, Rough Talia talks about that too, about leveling up.
Yeah, exactly. She does say like, oh yeah, we level up when this happens. I'm like, why are you talking about leveling up? You're supposed to be.
Yeah, you don't know what video games are.
This is supposed to be your reality.
Right.
Like, man, when like on my birthday, I don't talk about like, oh man, I leveled up and now I can do this better. You know,
no.
It's that. The only thing I can do better is fall apart, and that's not what we call leveling up.
Right. At our advanced stage, we're more leveling down than up.
Yeah, I'm dying. My leveling up is dying, so I can die better.
Yeah, so it's like, I get it that they're trying to make it more like fun and relatable, but it does like break the coherence of the world a little bit, where it's like, is this like a fantasy world or is this a video game world? Like, make a choice.
Yeah, and I think that they did not make that choice, and that was frustrating a little bit to me.
Yeah, unless there's going to be some kind of big reveal in like third season, like it was a VR game he was trapped in the whole time. It's like, oh, okay.
The whole time. Wink. How did you feel about this being like this episode 1 being like twice as long as all the other episodes?
You know, I didn't even notice it. Okay, so I'll say this about this first episode at least. Like, it was paced well because I didn't notice it was running long until maybe like the 30-something minute mark, where I'm like, like this feels like a long episode for 23 minutes. And I looked at the time and it's like, oh, okay, it's because it's 47 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like it overstayed its welcome. It was nice to get that whole introduction to it, but I feel like it could have been split up still.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I guess the place they would split it would have to be, I don't know, they would have had to have sped up a little bit of like that big reveal of what's really going on and then cut it when he gets accused or something.
Right. Yeah, the accusation would be the cutoff point where it's like, oh no, did he do it? And then it comes back where it's like, oh no, he didn't do it.
And then it goes to credits of somebody underneath the cherry blossoms. And
it's him and Malty just dancing around all happily with like in like a chibi form.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw going in how long it was, and I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, wow, this is really long first episode. But yeah, I didn't really, it didn't bother me at all. I think longer than what you mentioned. I want to say it was past the accusation stuff. I think it was around the time that he started going around by himself after all the bad stuff had happened to him, and he's trying to go out on his own, and he's catching the balloon monsters, which was probably, I don't know, maybe 35 minutes or so, maybe closer to the 40 mark or so. that I was more just starting to notice how long it's been, but that was pretty far in if it's only like, 48 minutes or something.
Yeah, for all the shows we watched, there are some that feel long at 10 minutes. So that's really
Yes.
saying something about this
Yeah.
show.
This was definitely extremely well paced.
Yeah.
For sure. So I got to give it a lot of kudos for that. This is one where I did not mind the longer intro whatsoever.
Right. It was a nice introduction. And we basically get to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, Melremark, which is this kingdom or this region or whatever, hates the shield hero. That's fine. Naofumi,
Yes.
a hated individual accused of terrible things, and it just has to go out on his own because, no one's there to support him anymore at all. And he has to deal with that because he can't go back to his home. So he just has to kind of, I don't know, figure things out by himself.
And when the baddie demon things show up, he has to show up and fight because that's what he's there for. And it's the only way for him to go back home.
Right. So it's necessity. The only reason he's helping them is because he has to at this point, because they are definitely not helping him and don't want him to.
And he hates them all back.
Yeah, exactly. He gives up pretty quickly. He doesn't even really try to fight for himself. He's just like very bitter very quickly into this whole thing. And so that's what makes it very different from a lot of the isekais I've seen, at least. Maybe not all of them. Like you say, Sword Art is similar, but now he's a very angry, broken person. It wraps up this first episode by him getting a slave, essentially. Going to
man.
Okay, well, that sounds bad, but
it does, but I mean, it is a little bad.
It's not inaccurate. So this like sleazy looking circus ringmaster dude,
the Jack the Ripper Monopoly man.
Sure.
I was thinking about him.
Yeah. Pulls him to the side and asks if he needs, a servant or something. And at this point, he's so like down and out. He's like, yeah, just whatever, man. Like, show me what you got. Like, and there's all these like demi-humans, which vary from like completely monstrous to more humanoid looking, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I do want to point out real quick, as we're talking about this, the whole reason that he does this and gets talked into it is because, one, he has to level up. He has to be able to fight stuff. He can't fight because all he has is the shield, and he doesn't know how to fight with this shield.
Not yet, yeah.
So he can't wield a sword. So he needs someone at his side.
He needs his DPS.
Yeah, he needs offensive because he's defensive, but he also needs someone that would not betray him because that's all he has known since he got into this world yet. And this guy is telling him, like, these slaves, we use like a specific kind of magic with these slaves. They're bound to their masters. They can't betray you. Like, they physically can't.
Yeah. And he makes sure to tell him, like, basically, like, slavery is okay here. Like, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
Hey, man, it's cool. We're all doing it. Yeah, that's kind of what he's... Yeah, that's kind of what they're doing. And they use these very specific... I don't know, what were they called? They're like half human, half animal.
Yeah, demi-humans.
Demi-humans, yeah. And I think she was supposed to be raccoon, but she looks like a squirrel to me. I don't
know. Yeah, I guess raccoon, maybe like what is the raccoon? Tanuki, yeah.
Yeah, I think someone referred to her as being raccoon.
Oh, okay.
In the next episode, but she looks more like half squirrel. But yeah, he gets rough Talia.
Yeah, so. Not in this episode, but he sees her, who at this point is like really like unhealthy, kind of dying. And she is just like the last choice you would make is someone to help you out in your quest at this point. Battle. Yeah. And that's kind of where the first episode cuts off, which takes us to the next one, which was Lullaby at Dawn. Season 1, episode 4, chosen by Tinks. The wave is gone, but Naofumi's relief is short-lived as Motoyasu challenges him to a duel in the middle of the celebratory banquet held in Melremark Castle. Motoyasu insists that owning a slave is unbecoming for a hero and that Naofumi free Raftalia at once. Okay, so I do want to say, so Motoyasu is the spear hero, and I want to say his head's in the right place. He's not wrong. Like, right. The way that he's perceiving it, yeah, slavery, not cool in any way.
Yeah, the way all of you listening probably reacted when Joseph goes, and then he gets a slave. The
Yeah.
way that you all probably reacted when you heard him say that is the way that Mariyasu
Our
reacted.
precious spear hero.
Of like, what? Like, okay, no, we're not having this.
Yeah, it's like
this
no,
is terrible.
that is awful. And she's probably just there. She's probably just being brainwashed, he says at one point, and or it's some kind of like Stockholm syndrome. So yeah, there's a lot here where it's like you kind of understand where he's coming from, but this guy's also an idiot. So you're like, he just doesn't get it at all.
Yeah, and you see that. Also, he is the one that Mine went to after she betrayed Naofumi in that first episode. She went to him, gave him the armor that she stole from Naofumi, told him it was a gift for saving her, that she was like, he's the only one that could keep her safe. So she's by his side now, and she's constantly talking him up and stuff. Yeah, so like she has her claws sunk so deep into this guy and pumping his head up so that it is so big. And yeah, he's a buffoon. He really is. And she has him wrapped around her finger. So anything she wants, he's going to do.
Yeah, and also I don't know that we get into it much in this episode, but having watched the whole first season, he has a huge thing for Raftalia, especially after this episode, and you'll see why.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Like he's constantly trying to get her to join his team.
So he's a furry.
Essentially, yeah, at least a demi furry.
He saw Raftalia and he was immediately like, whoa,
I need this raccoon in my life.
I got to get rid of these regular humans.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of this episode is just like their battle, essentially, and the aftermath of that.
Yeah, they have a big battle.
Yeah, which we get to see more of like the HUD thing where you get to see like health bars and their leftover mana and things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really video games the whole process in that way.
Yeah, especially like selecting different styles of shield during the middle of a fight. I wish I could do things like that during everyday life. Like just, you know what, this shirt ain't cutting it. Or, oh man, I spilled spaghetti sauce while I'm out here. Let me just pop my HUD open real quick and change this shirt.
Let me just equip my my clean shirt. Yeah. Or like, oh man, I'm not happy today. Let me equip happy mode. Let me just turn that one on.
Yeah, let me put on my trinkets for +3 to happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
+3 to dopamine.
I need one of those.
We all do. So, you know, it's kind of a close battle at first, but then we see Naofumi starting to pull ahead and really just like...
Oh, he gets him dead to rights, man.
Yeah, dead to rights. And he's using, like, in addition to his shield, since he can't really fight with it, he's using all of these balloon monsters that he's, like, gathered, which are just your most basic kind of trivial enemy. But he has a lot of them because they don't do damage to him. So he just has them like gnawing on his arms and legs and stuff. That's how he keeps them like equipped, basically.
Yeah, under his cloak.
Under his cloak, yeah. And then uses them against the spear hero in this battle. And like you said, has him dead to rights and is about to finish him off until he gets like randomly blown over by some wind magic that we know has come from Mine or Malty, but the crowd and the king just completely ignore it. Like, well, he must have just fallen over.
Nah, man. Like, and here's the thing that was driving me nuts is like Malty looks at the king nods to her right before she does it.
Yeah.
And then she does it. So I'm like, the king's like literally the one just like, yeah, go interrupt this.
I mean, he's definitely in on it.
Oh, absolutely.
But the crowd also ignores it. And the only people who seem to even notice it are the other cardinal heroes, the archer and sword hero.
And Raftalia, yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure. Since this whole thing was done for Raftalia to free her from slavery, essentially. Which, again, sounds like a good thing, but she was happy doing what she was doing. So that's where a lot of this episode goes, where it's like, okay, all this happens. The spear hero ends up winning just because, you know, they cheated. And then Raftalia is being freed. So at this point, she's like a child, essentially. She ends up being freed from her slave mark, whatever it's called. And then, like, that's where Naofumi is just completely crushed. Like, he's given up everything. He just kind of crashes to his knees and is just like, man, this really sucks. I've lost everything. My only companion, my loyal companion is now gone too. Like, what do I have left in this world? Raftalia has like a really inspirational talk with him after she's been freed from all this. And Spear Hero's confused because he's still like, whoa, what's she doing? Like, she must be brainwashed. Why is she supporting him? The other hero's like, no, dude, like, you're an idiot. Like, look at them. Like, it's not the way they say it's like it's not a typical slave master relationship, but it's like, OK, maybe that's the wrong way to say it. But
yeah.
it essentially it's like, OK, it's more than that. Like, he was taking care of her and really nursed her back to health after the fact, since he got her when she was like in a super bad state. And so she's expressing all of that to the guards and everything, and then talks to Naofumi and says that she's here to support him, consoles him, and in the process of that levels up to her next level. And she literally says she levels up. She levels up from a child to an adult woman.
Dating age.
Yeah. To a dating age woman.
Oh, man.
But a raccoon woman, since she's a demi-human. And that's when Naofumi starts to look at her differently for various reasons, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, like, no crap.
It's like, yeah, because she's not a kid anymore.
Yeah, I just aged 10 years right before your eyes. Yeah, and the other Cardinal Heroes, like, confronted the Spear Hero, and they're like, hey, y'all cheated. He's like, wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, we saw it. Also, like, the king, all the nobles, they're all talking about it. They saw it and everything. King's, like, ignoring it, and, like, the nobles are being told to stop talking about it. But, like, you know, everyone knows you cheated. They're just, like, pretending like they didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yatamasu's just completely dumbfounded. And they're like, yeah, your girlfriend or whatever just like totally stepped in and used magic. So, and then she's denying it. So,
yeah, right. That's how stupid he is. He doesn't even know that she cheated for him.
Right.
Just so blind. While this whole thing is going on, while Raftalia is talking to Naofumi, like there's this awesome music playing in the background. It's just really great and kind of comforting music that I really enjoyed listening to that while this whole thing was happening. And she's telling him things like, you know, you've gone through a lot of pain, but from now on, you don't need to be alone with that pain. And of course, now she's in her new form. So it's like, okay, this like gorgeous raccoon woman is supporting me now. And I feel like everything's okay.
Yeah. The only, it's just like, oh no. Now they're like, it's okay because now I'm older now, and now,
right.
And I'm like, oh no,
now I'm of
oh
age.
No, anime, please don't.
I know that's what.
Don't go the route I think you're trying to go. Please, you were a kid 5 minutes ago. Don't do this.
It's a little bit like that, but it never touches into like an area of discomfort past that I know of, at least not in season 1. But there's also some strangeness in the next episode that we're going to talk about right now, which is Naofumi's Triumphant Return, season 1, episode 21, which was the highest rated episode. And I just want to say, like, I want to put out there's some great action in this show. There's awesome monster fighting. We don't get to see any of that in the episodes we watched.
No,
you got cherry picked these episodes that is just drama and it's just like them talking, which they're good, but you're missing a lot of the show that I actually enjoy, a lot of portions of it. And that's, you know, that's its own thing. So in this one, after Naofumi survives, thanks to Morelia, who's the queen, her help, she comes to visit him and tells him the truth behind the summoning of the heroes and the discrimination against the shield hero. She also promises to clear his name and holds a trial for Altcray, who's the king, and Mine's crimes.
Altcray just sounds like, I was like, is it me or is she speaking in Pig Latin or something?
Yeah, his name's really Krolt, but, you know, Altcray just sounds
like,
better.
Let's not, you know, let's X-nay on the Altcray.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what? What do you, okay. Is she, I wasn't trusting her at first. I don't trust anyone in this world.
You can't.
You know, except for Raftalia.
Sure, but only because of her slave bond.
Yeah, well, no. No,
that's gone now. That's gone. Sorry, she's not a slave anymore. I want to make that clear.
No, she is, because she got it added back on later.
Oh, yeah,
Remember?
You're right.
She was like, no, tat that thing right back on me.
Oh, no.
And then she put it in a real sus spot.
Okay, so never mind. I take that back.
She got it put right back on in a real specific area. So, But by her choice, she's just like, I want that added back.
Sure.
Anyway.
But she's not a slave if she's willing, I guess. I don't know.
I don't even want to.
We shouldn't touch on it.
That's a road I don't want to go down. But yeah, I wasn't sure about this queen, and like I was, just because of past trauma from this show, we don't know exactly what she's gonna do. I mean, we get the idea that maybe she is gonna do this trial or whatever, but we weren't 100% sure what she was gonna do. We just got kind of an inkling because he had that dream. But we didn't hear her actually say it because the camera kind of cut and you only see them like talking at a distance, and we don't hear the audio when she's telling Naofumi what's going to happen.
Right.
And then he has a nightmare about it or something. But like when the day comes and she gathers the cardinal heroes, the queen goes in there, and this kingdom's a matriarchy, so like she has final say over everything, not the king.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing that they mentioned, since they also showed some like other stuff of like the general populace where it's like, oh yeah, like if you turn down a drink from a woman, like that is like treason, basically. Like this is
messed up. Yeah.
Right. This whole society is matriarchal.
Which probably is for the best. I feel like we would be better off, to be honest.
I mean,
we'd be a much better place.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah, I think so. We need the matriarchy because the patriarchy really,
it's just not working. Not working out.
Yeah. We had too many problems. So yeah, she calls the trial, and I'm just waiting for her to stab him in the back at this point and put him on trial instead.
Oh, sure.
And be like, execute him. And I'm like, yeah, this is how it's going to go. No, she calls in her husband and daughter and puts them on trial and talks about all the horrible things they've done, which have been a lot.
And again, there's a slave crest that is put on Malti.
Oh, yeah. She like tortures her daughter like crazy, basically.
Yeah, gets that painted on. So then anytime she disobeys by lying, she's like essentially electrocuted, tortured. So when she's lying.
And this is broadcast to the whole kingdom. So like everyone sees basically her daughter, which is Malti, aka Mine, which was the woman that screwed him over in the first episode and everything. It was revealed that, that was the king's daughter, the princess, whatever. Everyone sees her for what she really was, that she was conniving, that she pulled the strings along with the king. They were basically creating a conspiracy against the shield hero from the get-go, and also she tried to kill her younger sister, Melty.
Oh yeah, Melty.
They have the worst naming conventions. These parents should be punished for Malty and Melty. Oh my God.
I mean, one of their names is Altcray, so it's like, what are you going to ask for? What do you expect?
Oh God. Anyway, and after that, she's like, all right, cool. Let's have a good old fashioned beheading. Let's kill them both.
Yeah.
So man, that got intense too. Like that whole scene.
It did. But Naofumi suspects something. Like he sees the way that the queen's reacting to these, like her declarations, and he's kind of questioning it. And at this point, if you've been following the anime and you're on Naofumi's side, you're like, yeah, dude, just let them die. Like they've been horrible people to you since you got there and accused you of horrible things that are now proven incorrect. So you've gotten the public's trust again. These people do not need to be there. And so I think if it was in any other situation, Naofumi would have probably let it happen. But because he saw that the way the queen was reacting to her verdict and the near execution, like I feel like he thought that he needed to step in.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if because in my head, I was thinking was more influenced by like, the dream he had. And he kept thinking like, why is she looking at me? Like Malty was like looking at him and even pleaded with him to save her. I thought it was more of like that idea of like, he still has more humanity in him than the rest of them do.
So you think it was his compassion?
I think it was.
Maybe because he did comment that like when she was pleading to him for her life, like she didn't get electrocuted or whatever, like her emblem didn't activate. So it means she wasn't lying. She was authentic about like begging him for help. And so, yeah, you're probably right. There's probably like partial compassion, but he was noticing the queen's actions as well. And I don't think that he knew what the queen was willing to go through to not make this happen, even though the queen herself, kind of suspects that was partially why he had called it off. But it was interesting.
The queen was going to offer up her life instead.
Yeah, to replace, basically to save her husband and daughter, she was going to offer her life up, which was a horrible mistake because she's actually a great leader and the others are horrible people.
Well, I would assume what would happen is Melty, the youngest, would then assume the throne.
Oh, yeah, probably take over because they would probably be stripped of their titles. At least.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what happens then is that like Naofumi comes up and he's just kind of like jumps up on the stage where they're going to be headed, and he just kind of starts razzing on everybody. And he was just like, I don't think he's like, you know what? This would be too good for them. Like letting them die. Like she's begging for me to spare her life and stuff like that. And he's just kind of like poking fun at them and trying to make their lives like look even more pathetic than they are, but in a way to win the crowd over to stay their execution, and instead offers up a different type of punishment, which is they do get everything stripped from them. Like they're no longer royalty. They lose like everything. And then they are
they get new names.
They're given new names, and those are names that cannot be uttered on this podcast.
Well, the king is just going to be labeled trash from now on. That's fine.
Okay, trash.
But Malty's new names we cannot repeat. Just know that they are very,
very vulgar names.
Vulgar. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So he gets a good laugh out of it. That's what they have to be. And it was decreed by the queen herself that that's what they have to be called from now on. So it's official law to call them these terrible names.
Yeah, anyone that meets them has to call them that.
Right. So, yeah, I guess like that was a fitting punishment for him. And then they abolished the church. I do want to say, so the three-hero church that excluded the shield hero specifically, that was abolished because they killed the Pope, but the Pope was like,
man, every time you say something in this podcast, I feel like we're going to get flagged for something. Because first you're like, then he gets a slave. And now you're like, oh yeah, they killed the Pope. And I'm like, oh God, Joseph.
But the Pope was like partially demonic and stuff. So it was a whole thing. So he was a bad Pope.
Oh man.
Yeah. And so that was the episode before that. And so in this one, Naofumi was recovering from that battle. And so that church was abolished, is the point I was making. And then the Four Heroes Church is now Melremark, that kingdom's new religion, which includes the shield hero, finally. Naofumi doesn't want to celebrate like after the fact. He doesn't want rewards for it. He's like, whatever, like I don't need any of that. That's not going to help me feel better about how poorly I've been treated this entire time. And like the queen's asking like if he's still going to help them, and he's going to help the Melremark kingdom, but he's also going to help all the other kingdoms as well, not just Melremark, all the other nations. So he's saying that they're there to protect this world, so that's what his plan is. And she's just like, great, that's awesome. And we see that Princess Melty, who is like a child, like has feelings for Naofumi, it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know how old she's supposed to be, but stature-wise, she's
a baby. She looks like she's supposed to be 10 or younger.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. But there's a lot of like expression of the fact that like she's hiding her feelings from Naofumi, or she just doesn't understand them maybe yet. And so she doesn't know.
I swear to God, if they reach a point where they're like, oh, she leveled up and now she's 26, I'm going to be like, no.
She's not demi-human. That's not going to happen. She's real human.
I can't do any more of that.
No more leveling up to adulthood.
It's like there's just there's red flags hiding all over this thing.
We didn't even mention what is the Chocobo girl's name?
The Chocobo girl. I love that you called her that because it's too true. Philo.
Okay. There's also another companion that Naofumi has that wears the guise of a little girl, but she's actually like a giant like chicken mount thing. A chocobo, yeah. but she just chooses to keep the form of human to fit in better.
And all she wants is food, which I can relate to. I can definitely relate to that.
And there's a lot of, at least at first, there's a lot of like tension between like she and Raptalia for Naofumi's affection. That,
Oh no.
yeah, that like levels off after a while. They become friends. They're all family now, whatever. But
Sure.
yeah, essentially, it's just this like Chocobo fighting for his love, essentially. not in the same way that the others might be, but definitely
Sure.
his attention she wants from him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention her because she didn't really play any parts in these episodes, but she is around at this point.
Yeah. And she's funny. I like her.
Yeah, she's a cool character. There's a good episode that actually is devoted to her where she's kind of leveling up too and doing different things. So if you have any interest, check out that whole first season. It's pretty good.
Got it.
One more thing I wanted to say about this episode is the important part of it is that Naofumi, at this point, now that he's been, cleared of all his crimes and everything, finally accepts his role as the shield hero. And literally at the end of the episode, it's a nice closeout because he's just saying basically wherever these waves are that are threatening the kingdom, that's where I'm going to be because I'm here as a shield hero. And that's what I'm going to do is protect the people or whatever. This could have been like the season ending. It's not, but it could have been the way that it closed out.
That was a surprise to me to see that there were several more episodes after this one, because this felt like it should have been the end of the season because it really tied up all of it. It felt like all of the plot threads we had seen so far tied up here. I'm sure there's more because, I'd only seen 2 episodes before this, but yeah, I don't know what they would do from this point unless they just start another kind of through line from here for just a few episodes until season 2, but I don't know.
Yeah, like the main plot point of him not being public enemy number 1 got tied up. So that's why I felt like it could have closed out there, but they did like tag a little bit more onto the end of it. In the next, I think 4 episodes is what was left after that.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we sent our kids to help the Cardinal Heroes on their quest to stop the next wave of monsters, or maybe just give Naofumi a hug because he really needs it. Let's see what they thought of the rising of the Shield Hero.
This cartoon was, it was really cool, but also kind of scary because, man, you just can't seem to win. And everyone's always plotting against you. No one trusts you to be alone with them. This sounds a lot like my Uncle Sherman.
Even though they're always talking about fighting waves of monsters and evil popes, we didn't get to see any of that in the episodes we watched. Just a lot of drama. So I think this show could have been pretty cool, but right now, that's just a rumor. After seeing it though, it's no wonder nobody ever wants to play as a tank in a party, because then everyone will hate you for no apparent reason. Look, it wasn't my fault the party wiped. Blame the healer instead.
Oh man, that gave me flashbacks to World of Warcraft days, not wanting to go into instances because I was afraid of getting the blame.
And you always would. If it wasn't you, though, it was the healer. It's never the DPS's fault. Even if, they could be fighting with sticks and you would still get blamed if you couldn't beat the final boss there.
Yeah, which was I originally started as a tank, and then I saw how mean everybody was, and I'm like, well,
You're like,
I'm
nope.
done doing that.
Yeah.
Definitely not playing healer. I'm gonna be a rogue forever. So that's what I started doing. DPS all the way, rogues and hunters from there on out. Nothing else.
I played a DPS warrior because I did not want to delve into the tank side of it. I just couldn't. But then nobody wanted me because nobody wants a DPS warrior in their party.
Exactly. If you're a warrior and you're not a tank, they're like, what are you even doing?
Useless. Just be a rogue. Yeah, get good.
Yeah, you're useless.
Oh. So what did you think of this show overall? I'm really curious to see what you had to say about it.
You know what? I really dig the idea of this and the world. As I said before, I really struggle with isekai sometimes where it's they can't decide whether it's a reality or it's a game. And like we talked about earlier, this one feels like they couldn't make a decision with that. It felt a little scattered and where they were just trying to do a little bit of both. And I don't know, that bugged me a little bit. And there's a few things too where I've been I was just kind of I've seen a few similar tropes that this specific show had with Sword Art Online and Grimgar, which I would say anyone who hasn't seen Grimgar should definitely go check out Grimgar.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Anyone that hasn't seen Sword Art Online, don't go check out Sword Art Online. Though I want to say, though, out of all of them, I think this story is the most well developed. It has deeper storytelling than most of the others, for sure. And I think that's its strong suit. It just feels convoluted a little bit with the whole setup and where like the reality has so many rules to it. And a lot of isekais have that. So I think that a lot of the things that I'm kind of complaining about are things that are not just specific to this show. So I'm trying not to let that muddy the water too much as like, that might be a thing I have with this specific kind of genre more than just this show in general. But I also wanted to emphasize just how incredibly frustrated I was watching the first couple episodes of this. Thankfully, we got to see that last episode with some payoff. But man, the first 2 episodes we watched, I was frustrated so much watching them. But I don't want to say that that was necessarily a bad thing because it was like the characters were so well written and like so incredibly evilly well written that it made me hate them and the situation that Naofumi was put into a degree that I would say I usually would only reserve for like a live action series. Like I've gotten to points like that in like watching Game of Thrones or watching like Daredevil. So the fact that this got that strong of a reaction out of me, whether it's like joy or anger, that really has me interested in wanting to see more of it. So even though, like I say, I was very frustrated, it was just because I was so engrossed in the story. And I'm just like, I can't believe how incredibly complexly rough they made this main character's life get so quickly, and everything is against him, and it just keeps beating him down. But it's kind of like the more down he is, the more room he has to like, fight back up, which was kind of a cool idea. So overall, I gave this anime 4 bowls of Evil Princess Pop cereal out of 5.
Yeah, like you texted me very early on and saying like, I am incredibly frustrated with this show. You didn't tell me why exactly, but yeah. I kind of knew, and I was like, "Oh man!" That was like I hadn't seen it for like over a year, so I was like, maybe there's something about it that like really doesn't hold up, and that's what I thought you were focused on. But then as I was watching it again, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what it was. It's because everyone hates Naofumi and is being so mean to him." And that's not something that you see in a lot of animes, not with your protagonist. That's like if you're playing Skyrim, you slayed a dragon, and then the king's like, dude, you assaulted that dragon. What's up? The kingdom hates you. Now you're arrested. It's like, what did I do? I thought I was helping.
Exactly.
And yeah, this is just like, it's very difficult to watch Naofumi's journey at first because he is just like trying to help. And no one is recognizing this at all. And he's got such a bad reputation because word gets around very quickly in this kingdom. He really only has like 1 or 2 people he can actually trust. One being the blacksmith that fortunately doesn't believe the, Malty and is at least giving him a chance and helps him escape in the first place. And the other being Raftalia, who he has rescued and is taking care of and nursing back to health. And so you really get to watch his struggle through this whole thing. And honestly, like, even though we poked fun at some of the areas, maybe not fun is the right way to put it. We made commentary on some of those like more sensitive areas. It's like, I really do like this show at the end of the day. There are some problematic elements to it, sure, but they do skate around those to where it's like, it's not like slavery the way you're thinking of it. Like, don't worry about it. Like, let's get around that.
Oh, man.
And there's accusations of assault, but the assault didn't actually happen. So it's like there's sensitive subjects, but none of it's like the reality of what's actually going on. So in that way, yeah, it kind of like gets past that. Not that they needed it in the first place, but that's a whole nother thing. Aside from that, like the music is great. The action scenes are awesome, even though, like I said, we didn't get to see a ton of those in the episodes we actually watched. And then as far as isekais go, this one takes us on a different route than I'm used to, at least. I haven't seen Sword Art Online, but I have seen some posts that were like, this is how Sword Art Online should have been. So I see that that's a common comparison that's being made
Right.
now. Yeah. So it's like a better Sword Art, essentially.
I think I could agree with that.
Yeah. So all in all, after all that said, I would give Rising of the Shield Hero 4.5 big bowls of bitter Naofumi flake cereal out of 5. And I really do want to watch the season 2 and then season 3 once it comes out, even though I've heard season 2 takes a little bit of a dip. I'm curious to see at least where they take it after the whole like drama that's happened over the first season. I like how they've, even though like, you know, we talked about how them gamifying it was kind of like a weird and we're kind of torn over how we feel about it. I like certain aspects of it where it's like he's leveling up his shield essentially, and he's actually finding ways to make it more useful and even offensive when necessary. So it's like that part of it's cool where he's not always just this defensive hero. He can fight back when he needs to. And actually to a point where it's like it gets real crazy. And I won't spoil any of that stuff, but that comes into play a lot in that Evil Pope episode. I'll say that.
Yeah, I would like to watch the rest of this. I'm very interested in it. I and I like you were talking about this a little bit about how it skates around a lot of things. And I do think there's a lot of places in this where, and I've run into this in several animes before, where I'm like, there's tiny little red flags waving all over the place. But I think it's like one of those cases of like the little red flags are there, but like the anime never moves past those red flags of like it never becomes worse than like something moderately uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So as long as it stays within there, like I'm good.
Right. As long as there's boundaries to this and it doesn't get to the point of like, like grabbing your collar, like that kind of awkwardness level. And it doesn't get there. It's just like it skates around to the point where it's like, is it going to go there? Ooh, I hope it doesn't. But it never does. And that at least you can take solace in.
It needs to be a show I can watch on Crunchyroll and not in an incognito mode on my browser.
Yeah. That's what it needs to at least pass that test. Yeah.
Yes. So, but yeah, I'm very interested in watching all of it all the way through and then checking out the other seasons for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's a really cool, I think the world is really cool. So yeah, I'm really interested.
The idea is great. And I do want to add, because we didn't really talk about this at all. So he's kind of absorbing different things into his shield based on the various monsters he's fighting, the things he's encountering, etc. And that is giving his shield a lot of diversity in what it's capable of. So that's what's interesting to watch also, is the evolution of him as a hero and his usefulness past what the entire kingdom thought of him prior to the new religion being put in place. So yeah, there's a lot to it for as simple as it comes off.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm excited to check it out.
It didn't really even feel like it needed to be an isekai, aside from the fact that it makes it kind of like he's stuck in this world that sucks for him. And I guess there's like an aspect of drama to that where it's like, oh man, what's he going to do trapped in this world? So I don't know. I guess that's where the isekai part comes in and makes it more interesting.
Sometimes I run across isekais and I'm like, why don't you just start it as why doesn't it just start as a fantasy world in the get-go? Like why do you need to move someone from our world into that?
Why does it always need to be like I was reincarnated as a superhero with the shield who's also a slime and a sexy anime girl? Why does it always need to be all of those things?
It's become like kind of like a running joke now of that time I was reincarnated as ... And then you just fill in the blank.
Yeah, it's true. You could find almost anything with those precursors to it. There was one that makes me think of the funniest one I've seen, I think, is like that time I was reincarnated as Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z. And it's literally after Yamcha gets killed by the Cybermen, and this kid like is reincarnated as him after that point, and it's like, why am I Yamcha? And then it's him dealing with that whole mess.
Okay, that sounds hilarious.
Yeah,
where did you find that?
I just saw it at this manga store that I was going through some manga, and it was just up there on the shelf. So
I have to read it.
You gotta,
read
yeah.
that. It's
If you
amazing.
find that, please read it. I've read some of it. It's really funny.
Okay, I will check that out. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So as far as this show goes, thank you, Tinks, for suggesting this to us. I mean, I had seen it before. We talked about it before, and you've been trying to encourage me to watch the next season. I'm going to, I promise. I hope it holds up, and I'm really hoping, even if this one doesn't, that the third season is able to pick it up and take it in an interesting new direction.
Yeah, thanks a bunch. I'm really excited to check out more of this. And now I can stop poking fun at it, because for the last year that we hadn't watched
You've been
it yet,
refusing to watch it.
every time it pops up, I always just talk about I would just bring up the fact that I'd be like, Joseph tells me a secret that he hates it. Like he hates it all the time, and he just tells you just to save face that he likes it.
Yeah.
I'm just poisoning your relationship with our friend and Patreon supporter here.
You're the Malty to my story, basically.
I am, because I'm a princess.
That's why.
Yeah.
Well, listeners, it looks like our most surprised. Now we're on dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And next week, we'll be watching
Tron Uprising, suggested by Patreon supporter Epic Otter.
Oh, okay. Do I need to watch the first Tron to understand this?
No.
Okay. What about the second Tron?
No.
Are there other Trons that I'm missing that I need to see as a precursor?
There's Voltron.
Voltron I will watch again. That was a fantastic show.
You don't have to watch that No, I haven't seen this at all, but I think I remember him saying that you don't need to watch any of the movies to watch this show.
Okay, good.
I've heard good things about this. I've heard a lot of good things about this show. And I think I also heard there's a really good video game that I don't know if it's related to this or not. I think it might be, but I've never played it. But I heard there's a really good game out there or something too. So
I'm hoping this has a reverse effect of encouraging me to actually watch the movies now that I've seen the show.
Yeah, maybe. I think they'll probably be, aside from story, they're going to look vastly different, because the first Tron was, I don't know if that was in the 80s or 70s. I almost want to say 70s, late 70s, maybe early 80s. I don't know. Looks way different than the second Tron, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about the world in general and see if I want to dive further into it.
There you go. There's another movie coming soon, I think.
Another Tron?
I think so.
Give me a chance to catch up on all the Tron lore first.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then there's Megatron.
There's so many Trons. There should be a Voltron versus Megatron thing in some way.
In the world of Tron.
In the world of Tron, yeah.
Yes.
Jeff Bridges needs to be there too. That's the only character
Yeah.
I know from Tron. I'm sorry.
That's the only one that you need to know.
The only one that matters.
I don't know.
Well, once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
We'll see you next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth.
A place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.